Welcome to Book Jobs Daily, the show where local business owners find the money hiding in missed calls, slow follow-up, weak reviews, and messy systems. I'm Star Riley, and each day we break down one local revenue leak, one simple AI-powered fix, and one action you can use to book more jobs. Today, we are fixing one leak that could be costing you real money.
A job can be finished, paid for, and still keep selling for you. But most businesses let that value die in a camera roll next to 4,826 photos named IMG_4827. The crew leaves, the customer is happy, the tools go back in the truck, and the best evidence your business has ever produced gets buried under screenshots, blurry receipts, and somebody's lunch. That is today's revenue leak. Your best sales asset may not be the ad you have not written. It may be the work you already completed and failed to organize. Welcome to Booked Jobs Daily. I'm Star Riley, founder of MyUSALocal.com, and this is episode number for date. This is your daily show for local business growth, practical AI, and revenue systems that help turn missed leads into booked jobs. Today, we are going to turn completed work into a simple proof system, not a giant marketing project, not a demand that your technician become an influencer, just a repeatable way to show the next customer we have handled a problem like this before. By the end, you will have a 4-part capture method, a filing rule, and a 20-minute weekly routine you can start with one job. Let's get into it.
I call this the proof loop. A customer has a problem. Your team shows what it did. You record what changed. Then you make that evidence easy to find when another customer has a similar concern. That last part is where the money is. The work happens once, but the explanation can help with several future decisions. It can support an estimate. It can give a quiet prospect something useful to read instead of another message that says, just checking in. It can answer a question on your website. It can help a customer understand what a professional process actually looks like. And customers need more than a claim that you are reliable. They are wondering, have you seen my kind of problem? Will you understand this property? What exactly will your team do? What will the finished result look like? A proof record helps answer those questions before uncertainty takes over. Think of it as leaving a small trail behind every good job. Not hype, evidence.
Here is what this looks like in real life. A small exterior painting company has a crew that does excellent work. They prep carefully, protect nearby surfaces, keep the property clean, and communicate well. A homeowner calls about siding that is faded and peeling. She is comparing 3 painters and asks, "Do you have examples of homes like mine?" The owner, Marcus, knows they do. His crew finished 2 similar homes during the past month. But finding those examples is a mess. Some photos show only half the house. Some have no note about the original condition. One set is buried in a text thread with a former employee. After 10 minutes of searching, Marcus sends a few random images with the message, "Here are some projects." It is not dishonest. It is just weak proof. The prospect still has to figure out which home is similar, what problem existed, what work was actually performed, and whether the team was organized. She replies, "Thanks, I'll compare these." And the conversation goes quiet. That is the painful version of a proof problem. Nobody lied, but nobody made the decision easy. Strong workmanship is essential, but if the evidence is scattered, your customer may never experience that workmanship before saying yes. And this is not just a painting problem. It happens with plumbing repairs, flooring, landscaping, cleaning, roofing, remodeling, and almost any service where the result can be seen or explained.
So what should a team capture? You do not need a documentary. You need 4 useful pieces of evidence. Before work begins, show the original problem. Take a photo if the problem is visible. If it is not, write one plain sentence. Water was collecting near the back door after heavy rain. The furnace was shutting off before reaching the set temperature. The front walkway was cracked and uneven. That sentence gives the finished photo a reason to exist. Without it, a picture is just a picture. Next, show the important work. Not every minute. Not a photo of someone holding a drill just to prove a drill was present. Show the preparation, the damaged area after removal, the replacement equipment, or the part of the process that explains your quality. A clean final photo is helpful. A clean final photo plus evidence of proper preparation is much stronger. Then capture the visible result. Step back far enough to show the whole outcome.
Clear away tools when you can. Use a useful angle and decent light. Add a close-up only when a detail matters. Finally, record what changed in the customer's own plain language experience. Maybe the entryway is now level and ready for regular foot traffic. Maybe the new system completed a full test cycle. Maybe the customer said the room feels brighter and easier to maintain. And how do you describe the result without promising too much? You describe this project, not every future project. Say what your team observed, say what the customer reported. Do not turn one good outcome into a guarantee. That is the record. The problem, the work, the result, and the outcome.
You may be thinking, my crew does not have time to document every job. Good. Do not document every job. Start with one job a week, especially a job with a clear before and after or a problem you see repeatedly. That is enough to build the habit without turning the workday into a content studio. And before anything is shared publicly, get permission. A customer's home is not automatically your marketing department just because your team took a photo. Ask what may be used, where it may be used, and whether identifying details should be removed. Watch for house numbers, names on documents, license plates, children, personal photographs, alarm panels, and anything else that reveals more than the project requires. If a customer wants the proof kept private, respect that. You can still use it internally for estimates or training when it is stored securely and shared appropriately. A simple note in the job record can say what was approved. Before and after photos may be used on the website and social media, with no address shown. That is not an annoying extra step. It is part of professional service. Here is where good intentions usually fall apart. 3 weeks later, nobody can find the photo. You do not need a new software subscription, a 6-step dashboard, or a heroic filing project. You need one shared location, one naming rule, and one person who checks it briefly each week. Create a folder called Proof Library. Organize it by service. Then name each job with the service, the problem, the property type, and the result. For example, 2026-08 exterior painting, peeling siding, 2-story, fresh finish. Or 2026-08 drain repair, kitchen backup, single family, flow restored. That tells a future team member much more than job final 3.
There is a simple rule here. Proof describes, promises guarantee. Proof says, here is what we saw, what we did, and what happened in this particular situation. A promise says, this exact result will happen for everyone. Use phrases like, on this project, the customer reported, and the visible result was. If the underlying condition can change the outcome, say so. That does not weaken your sales message. It shows that you understand the work well enough to describe it accurately. Do not hide the difficult parts either. If your team found an additional issue and explained it before continuing, that can become useful proof. Customers want to know how you communicate when a job changes. Professionalism is part of the result. Now make the habit small enough to survive a busy season. Choose one 20-minute block every week. During the first 5 minutes, gather the jobs completed since the last review. During the next 10, check for the 4 pieces: problem, work, result, and outcome. If one is missing, ask the person who handled the job for 1 sentence or 1 photo. Do not launch an investigation worthy of a detective series. Use the final 5 minutes to file the complete records and mark where each one can be reused. One person owns the review. The field team uses the checklist before leaving a job. For your first assignment, choose one completed job from the last 30 days. Pick one with a visible result. Name the folder, add the 4 captures, write the 5 answers, confirm the permission status, then turn it into one useful asset, such as an estimate example or a follow-up message. Do not wait for 50 perfect records. One complete record will show you exactly where your process is weak. Maybe the photo angle needs work. Maybe the outcome note should be collected before the crew leaves. Maybe permission needs to be built into closeout. Fix one point, then repeat.
A finished job should not disappear when the invoice is paid. The customer has a problem. Your team documents it respectfully. You show the important work. You record the visible result and the customer's own outcome. You store the proof with a name someone can actually search. Then you place it in front of the next customer when reassurance matters. That is the proof loop. It helps the next customer understand your process before the sales conversation gets stuck. It gives your team something specific to send instead of just checking in. And it lets the work you already completed keep helping the business. You do not need to become a full-time content creator. You need to stop treating valuable project evidence like clutter. After this episode, pick one job. Find the problem, the work, the result, and the outcome. Put them together. Make the record easy to find. Then ask, where would this help the next customer feel more confident? That is where you use it. The proof loop helps you stop losing value after the job. The AI opportunity audit helps you find the leaks before and after the lead arrives.
Before you go, ask yourself one question. How many leads has your business missed this week? Missed calls, unanswered messages, old estimates, customers who never got a follow-up. That is hidden revenue. Join the Booked Jobs Daily email list to get the one-page proof loop checklist. Use it to help your team capture better project evidence without adding a heavy content process to the workday. And book your AI opportunity on will uncover the leaks, show you the systems, and help you turn missed opportunities into booked jobs. I'm Star Riley. Thanks for listening to Booked Jobs Daily.